the cymbidium. How easy are they to grow?
They're very easy. They require a cool position, frost-free, outside light with shading, and water and feed weekly.
So under a deciduous tree, a bit of liquid feed once a week and off you go.
That's right.
Now, you've got a couple of interesting new types here. Tell me about those.
Okay, this is a real miniature orchid, cymbidium, and then we have a pendulous arching type cymbidium.
Okay, so there are some new options within cymbidium. Now, compared to cymbidium, which is so easy, cattleyas, here we've got a very nice one. How much more difficult are they to grow?
They are as easy to grow as long as you grow them on a windowsill inside.
Oh, okay. And plenty of light, they don't mind that?
Plenty of light.
Okay, and just, by the way, this other Laelia that you brought along, which is a relative of the cattleya, what a magnificent thing.
It's lovely, yes.
Now, over here we have odontoglossums, which are one of my favourite orchids, spectacular things. How easy are they and what should we do with them?
Okay, these require more of a cool, shady and a damp position.
Oh, okay, so moist, but still a well-drained potting mix, but a moist position.
That's right.
Okay, so lots of moisture, good drainage. Okay, now over here we have another fascinating orchid. Tell us about these.
Okay, these are zygopetalums and they're from Brazil.
Right, and I noticed before that the monarch caterpillars were going for them, the bees as well. What are they after?
They're after the honeydew and the perfume. They have a lovely perfume.
How many orchids are perfumed?
Very few, but there are quite a range.
So you can get some. Well, I better have a check this out. It is. It's very, very nice indeed. Now, down here we have an interesting little orchid. Very delicate flowers, and I noticed before that was perfumed as well.
That's another. That one smells like pink icing, a real sickly, sweet smell.
Oh, okay. Well, don't put us off it. I think it's very nice. Now, Paphiopedilums, you can get these in garden centres. I've seen them occasionally for sale within garden centres, and again, a very attractive orchid, very distinctive. How would you get the best out of those?
Again, you just keep them more indoors, and the flowers last for about 3 months. Just, again, water and feed weekly.
And whereabouts indoors? How bright a position?
A fairly shady position.
Indoors, okay. Yeah. And they'll do what they're doing there. I mean, a very attractive orchid indeed. Yeah. Phalaenopsis. And again, an orchid that perhaps people don't know, but I mean, is it worth average gardeners, you know, people who don't want to specialise too much in orchids, considering growing Phalaenopsis?
Well, they're probably the longest lasting flower. They last for nearly 3 months.
Is that picked as well?
No. But
shorter in a vase, but on the plant 3 months.
3 months, yes, and they're just flowering all the time.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. And how do you get that kind of performance?
Okay, keep them more indoors, nice and warm, shady position, but plenty of heat.
Okay, so really an indoor plant right through the country, but really worthwhile growing.
Definitely, most definitely.
Now, I guess the orchid that really has captured my imagination, I've never seen it before, is this little species that you've got native, I believe, to New Guinea.
That's right. It's one of the new finds from the highlands of New Guinea, and of course it's temperate, so it's still very easily grown in New Zealand and becoming reasonably available.
Okay, and what a delightful little thing.
And the flowers can last anything up to 3 to 6 months.
Is that right? In general terms, with the fertilising of all these orchids, is there some rule of thumb that you can give us?
Weak and often.
Weak and often. So, and you're talking about a liquid feed. But a very dilute solution and put on very regularly.
Very regularly, yes.
Okay.
Keep feeding your orchids.
Okay, that's the key to it, eh?
Yes.
Well, the thing with orchids is that there is a fantastic range to choose from. I think if people are wanting to get into orchids, Ross, what is the best way to get a great range of them?
Join your local orchid society.
Join the local orchid society, okay. Well, there you go. Details about your local orchid society or the Orchid Society of New Zealand in the latest fact sheet.
You're with Maggie's Garden Show, and you might well be wondering, what am I doing standing in a ditch? Well, this is not your run-of-the-mill everyday ditch. This is called a ha-ha, and I'm not joking. And it's one of the main reasons why this wonderful piece of countryside can retain its beauty, yet still be a world-class deer farm. The owner of the ha-ha and this piece of South Canterbury farmland is Graham Carr. A career change from the building industry to deer farming brought him from Britain to New Zealand. But it didn't take away his love of the English countryside. I notice you've got doves here. There's quite a sort of a lovely, you know, as you say, English feel to it, but also, I guess, conservation in a way.
Yes, I've tried to make it keep as natural as possible, and I think it's important to maintain this place and keep, you know, I feel as if I'm basically borrowing this property in my lifetime as long as I stay here. So you really have to pass it on in better form, or better than possibly you found it.
Wonderful looking out from the homestead in this area here. Across here, there are no fences, and the deer are running around.
Right.
Hence the ha-ha.
That's right, yeah. The ha-ha, yeah. It's a rather unusual name, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it's an English concept, as you know, from the old homesteads over there, where they had these lovely lawns, and then they had the deer parks, and they didn't want any obstruction of the site. So it just seemed the natural thing to do here, because a lot of visitors come up here, and we wanted to show off, have some of our nicer animals out here, and also from a working environment. You didn't want to be looking through fences, but you want to have deer around you. So it just seemed a natural thing to do.
Could you explain the principle of the ha-ha? Well, this is the ha-ha.
Yeah, the idea is we most likely got this a wee bit too far, this slope here, but the idea is that looking from over there, you don't see this cutaway and the rise. It looks as if they're all in the same environment. The idea is that if the animals do go down there, it's deep enough not to be able to get up again.
Right.
And they actually do. They wander up and down here, and they're quite happy.
As with all deer farms, high fences and tight security are a must. But Graham's combined this with the illusion of a parkland, where deer can roam freely through a forest and across his driveway. It looks lovely, but the trees can take a beating, especially from stags like Mostar. They certainly do a bit of damage to the trees, don't they?
Well, you can see, Mark, that's not the worst problem. What the worst problem is where he rubs up against them and ring barks them. You see that one there?
Yes.
Had him out yesterday for about half an hour, or not even as long as that, and he ripped that tree in. That wee one on the side.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So that's the biggest problem. That's why we've had to protect all these new replacement trees up the drive.
The barriers, yeah. And what are you doing in terms of the trees you're planting? Are you going for...
Well, we're just trying to keep it mainly all deciduous, other than this nice stand of Oregons we got here. There's interspersed with all these deciduous trees and beech trees, a copper beech tree here. So we're just trying to keep it sort of the English style, really, and put a range of deciduous trees in.
Which is sort of peel forest, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it is peel forest, yeah. This is very sort of English, Anglo-Saxon around here, and so trying to keep it that way.
Yeah. As I was saying before, it reminds me of Sherwood Forest.
Yeah, that's right, Sherwood Forest. Well, as I was saying, that's very close to my hometown, yes.
And Robin Hood's not the only legend you could set here. Graham loves his deer, and while they are a business, he likes them to be accessible. These fawns have been born to hand-reared hinds, which has made for a very friendly herd. So these guys here, I mean, it sort of shows that these lassies
right.
here, it shows that really you could, on a lifestyle property, have a few pet deer around.
Oh, yeah, no problem at all. All you've got to do, of course, is you've got to start off and get up a fawn and hand-rear it. I mean, or buy a hand-reared one from somebody.
Yes.
And then once you've got it, it's easy.
But they come pretty comfortable, don't they? I mean, they...
Oh, yes. I mean, as some people, when they first off have them in the house, they have them, put them in the back of the car like a dog, they have them in front of the hearth and on the couch, and they become great mates until they get too big.
Yes. So, what about the care of them? Do they take a lot of care?
No, that's the beauty about them. The sort of, you haven't got the problem you got with sheep. You know, you don't get all those problems with dagging and fly blow, and you haven't got to shear them. They don't get foot rot. They're just very easy care animals, and that's the beauty about them. The lifestyle blocks, so maybe both parties are away all day or sometimes for a week, and they just look after themselves, providing some feed in there.
Perfect animal.
They are, really. And they're also quite a good return as an investment, actually. You know, they each produce a fawn every year, and you can sell those on. Obviously, you can't keep them all because of the space you've got, so you can sell those on, and they're selling for a very good price.
For someone who's thinking about, you know, deer for a lifestyle property, how many would you get to an acre, and what sort of fencing would be required?
Well, we run here about 2.5 hinds an acre. That's on good quality land like this. And your fencing has to be 6 foot high. That's the standard recommendations. And it works out something like about 6 or 7 $8 a metre. That's including fence posts and erection. So it's not that expensive. And once it's up and that's it, you can put anything you want behind it.
And then the other option, of course, is to, if you've got the room, build a ha-ha.
Oh, exactly. That's right. So you can have the enjoyment of looking at them from the house without any nasty fences.
Lovely park-like setting there, and the ha-has are a really good idea. I don't know if they keep you out of the garden though, Bill Ward.
Some chance.
Yeah, some chances, right. This is the time of year when the crab apples are coming into their own, and the quinces. So Mary's rustled up some good jellies here, good wobbly jellies to eat on the scones, which she's also made, of course. See that one down there? Veritable work of art, Bill Ward. We won't be able to eat any of it today, not for a while anyhow. But crab apples are easy to grow. I mean, basically, if you can grow an apple, you can grow a crab apple, and they've got a lot going for them. But which are the best fruiting ones?
Well, one that I'm particularly fond of is Gorgeous, which is a New Zealand bred one. Good colour, particularly at this time of the year. But Floribunda is a great one too. It's got a little single flower, is available in a purple leaf form as well. The fruit's much smaller. Gorgeous is probably better for making jellies, as is Jack Hum, which is another South Island variety which is hard to beat, much larger fruit.
They grow better in the south with the cold, do you think? They prefer that to the warmer climates?
I think they're probably, crab apples are actually more versatile than cherries, New Zealand-wide, because they're always going to provide you with good autumn, or good colour and fruit, good for the birds, as well as for us. And the spring flowering is absolutely amazing. Apples blossom actually lasts much longer than cherry blossom.
It does too, but they combine well together actually. Here at Eden Gardens in the spring, we filmed here quite often, and the birds just go mad for it. The tuis are there in the blossom, and they like the crab apple and they like the prunus as well. So cherry blossom and crab apple blossom is a very nice combination. There's some fragrant ones as well, aren't there, Bill?
Yeah, there's one variety called Charlotte, which is a double. The doubles don't fruit.
Oh, is that so?
But this one's got the most beautiful violet fragrance, just reminiscence of picking up a handful of the ground violet. So if you're looking for something a little bit different, the crab apples are a small to medium tree, around about the 3 metre mark. You know how adaptable they are because you see them growing on some of the road verges. And
they're a good street tree and a good tree for a smaller garden as well. Camellias, of course, they have to be one of the most popular flowering shrubs in the country, and they're coming into their own at this time of year, just starting to break the old flowers out there, the sasanquas particularly. If you find you've got too many buds on your camellias, it would actually pay to get out there and remove a few of them so that more will survive and come into flower. Also helps prevent bud drop and that kind of thing. And it's a good time of year to be feeding the camellias so that you do get the blooms that you want.
Well, talking about other blooms, this is the fruit of quite a large quince flower. It's probably about the size of a 20-cent piece, and leaves behind these magnificent fruit, which also are great for jellies, but they also make a really nice, as my granny used to make, a sinker fruit cake, and really very tasty. It's a bit open in habit, so it's a good background plant. So if you've got a shrubbery that you want something a little bit more interesting, the fruit's got the most amazing perfume. You can rub your hands over it and you feel like it's sort of...
Oh, really? Oh, let's try that, actually. I've been looking at these jellies closely. I tried a couple of times to make jelly. The big key is do not squeeze the muslin bag. You see, you get a bit greedy with these jellies, and you think, OK, you squeeze it, and then it goes cloudy. Now, Mary tells me a sign of a good jelly is that when you touch it, oh, yes, it's sort of firm to the touch and it bounces back. And, of course, look at that, it wobbles. It's not a good look in a human being, but it's ideal for a jelly.
Well, for all the food I've been eating in Mary's, I'll be wobbling soon anyway.
Well, yeah, a chance to be a fine thing. Now, what about lawns, Bill? A quick run through what we ought to be doing there.
Well, it's getting late to be sowing, so you've got to do the renovation part, and you might find that you've had a bit of piranha or grass scrub problem. And to distinguish between the two, piranha actually just eats the top of the grass, whereas grass scrubs actually eat the bottom.
Yeah,
so
they
when
eat
you
all the roots, which is terrible.
So it's a good time to actually spray for that. Autumn's a major time. And you've also got if you've had a worm problem, I've had a few letters lately about casts in the lawn. If it's very difficult and you're finding the kids are bringing in all the sort of bits...
Yeah, those little piles of soil are the cast. Worms are good, they aerate the soil, but if it's messy...
If it's messy, then just give a light spray with Carbaryl. It'll reduce the population and... the house will be cleaner.
Oh, well, that's always a good thing, isn't it? Now, events coming up around the country this weekend. In Christchurch on Tuesday night, the Birdland Sanctuary Trust are having a fundraising garden night at the Caledonian Cobb & Co. Keith Garnett is going to be discussing pruning. And in Wellington at the Michael Fowler Centre, the Floranza International Floral Spectacular gets underway. It runs from the 10th till the 14th. And coming up on our program next week, we'll be featuring some of the highlights of this tremendous international floral art event, Floranza. And we'll visit an English country garden right in the heart of Canterbury. If the thought of the great outdoors brings tears to your eyes, we'll show you how to design and plant a low-allergen garden. You suffer from a bit of hay fever, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, my eyes are watering at the thought of it, but my taste buds are actually more watering for Mary's delicious food here. I think we should get into it.
I think so. Dive into the crab apple and scones. That's us. We'll be back next week. Bye.
Cheers.
Next up tonight, police rescue, where one man's perception of rescue is about to change. Now, there'll be no extra broadcast of Maggie's Garden Show on Mondays from now on, but as from next weekend, the 20th, Maggie and the team will be back Saturday afternoons at 1 o'clock here on TV1.
A fact sheet with all those little details you may have missed is available by sending a stamped, self-addressed envelope to Box 97037, South Auckland Mail Centre. It's also available from leading garden retailers and, for your convenience, will be printed in the Listener.